My chat today is about perpetual need, where perpetuation means this is a consistency, and it's like a tire rolling has a rotation to it. Perpetuation does the same thing. It's a consistency. It it has no way of finding a turn, and it keeps going. And people who are subjected to the malady of need. Now, I'm not talking about the need where people will discover sometimes, and I don't like to use the word need. I like to use the word requirement, where people require a whole new sense of direction, a whole new sense of perfection, perception, and a whole new directive in their life. Need, in any respect, if it has a consistency, months, years go by, it is really supposed to get you thinking, and not supposed to get you all comfortable with it. Need is never, ever, ever, ever good. It is a humiliation to one's growing up or growing. It has a way of bringing down hope and raising up disappointment and discouragement. So need is never, ever a good thing to subscribe to. It's never a good thing to be all cozy with or to be friends with. Should you find yourself in a place of perpetuation of need, where it keeps going and it has no way of finding an end in sight, you're really going to have to do a whole lot of soul searching. And from my perspective, I think there's certain elements that are involved as to what makes people become needy. See, it doesn't just happen. There's a certain amount of small things that add up to the condition of being in need. You can make decisions in your life. People who went through divorces, that basically the very energy that was involved with the situation ripped them apart so badly that it threw them into the pit called need. Need has its friends. Its friends are discouragement, humiliation. It will even take hold of your faith and strangle it down to disbelief and unbelief. It will take hope and throw it away. Your future doesn't seem as bright as ever. Let me ask you a question. God, who created everything, as you were to go back to the point of creation, you would see none of those elements. As a matter of fact, it says that he looked upon the earth and it was void and without any form. And he says, and the rocks and everything went to and fro. And he said, and he spoke into the darkness and he said, let there be light. He began to create magnificence out of nothing. Through the vastness of the land that was once without any kind of vegetation, and it was a desolate place, God spoke into it, and he made sure it resembled him. So God is not in the business of need, and don't ever fool yourself. It is not a spiritual gifting, and it's not a spiritual graduation. Need can come because of, the Bible says, one's pride can bring them low. And there's many other variables that are involved that why need would be in your life to the level that it is. On a spiritual side of things, I do believe that the closer you are to any situation. They call it the eye of the storm. The closer you are to any situation of people who don't believe in you, who have formed opinions about you, who have even formed a picture of how they see you and want you to be, can project enough information to you and cause you to believe that what they're doing is yours. And you begin to act out their version of all the hope and all the goodness that is rightfully yours. They can project a version of the complete opposite of that. When God created us with the same stuff that He has, He said He created us in His image. He spoke into, and He calls us to do the same, to speak to your need, to command your need to be removed and to get out and away from your life. As you begin to take these practices, your brain begins to form neurons called neural pathways that causes you to see a picture of the complete opposite of what you're experiencing in the manifestation place called the earth. The invisible world in many respects is more powerful, but it takes a lot of courage in order to deal with the spiritual world that may be causing you to need. You're going to have to deal with other people in your life who you may take them very lightly, who are unconsciously helping you to stay in need. People have had to make some very strong choices. I've seen this. I've seen this in my own life, and I can prove it. That if you, I'm not saying that something you'd have to really pray about, but sometimes leaving a city where you are and going to another place and things change. The brain has a way of going into wonder, WONDER. And when there's something that is gets you away from the familiarity of what's causing you to become needy, it will change. Because newness brings courage. I find that when you're in the old place and you're in the old sayings and the old brain activity, and even in the old place where the witch is having their say by their spells on your life, when you get away, your atmosphere changes. And with it, you see, this is the thing, is that deep down inside, when you start to make up your mind to become an enemy of need, your entire scope of your entity, your being, begins to build a battalion of forces that you don't see, that will exert enough force upon everything that is causing you to be in need. Newton's law, I think it's Newton's law, has that one force upon another will change its environment. Look, I'll say this, and I'm speaking a little softly today because I got some neighbors and I want them to hear me speaking out loud. Hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. Don't be a friend of need. Sometimes we could be in a place because we feel, well, I got no choice. And I'm learning this myself too. The bravest people and the people who are willing to make up their mind to get away from stuff, elements that are causing you to be needy, causing them to be needy, I should say. When they make up their mind, other forces, friendly forces, come into the environment and begin to change the power of need. And I'll tell you this, man, it is so important. People who live in the outskirts of life, who go through stuff, who come to a place where they believe that the system will just create a nice little cradle for them to just stay in their need and enjoy it. It's all a ploy. Getting out of need is one of the most powerful aspects of your life, because when you only until you look back and you are in the opposite of need can you really see differently. Now, the thing is about, I guess in many respects, we have to ask ourselves, well, what is it do I need? Right? A lot of things that we apparently need, we really don't. Right? But I'm talking about a perpetuation. I'm talking about where this affects your life, where it affects your living conditions, where it affects you in the place where you can't seem to make ends meet, where you find your place where things are not going well, and somewhere deep down in your soul, your spirit, you know that this is an attack upon my life. This is not good stuff. When God created everything out of nothing, out of needy and dark and desolate, he said it was good. It was good because it changed when he saw abundance, when he saw beauty, when he saw magnificence before him. That is what he's about. And he created us in his image to also pursue everything that is good, noble, trustworthy, of good report. You do not want to live your life in a manner that is dark, void, and desolate. And don't let anybody tell you differently. You know, the whole point of life in any respect is to rise and keep going onward, upward, and forward. So I'll just leave you with this. Should you in any way, shape, or form be in a position in your life where you know that this is need, man, I'm having right here. This is, I'm in a you not a humbling place. I'm in a place of humiliation, and this is not good. That is the first test, because said when God created everything that was good and it was beautiful and magnificent in his sight, he said it was good. And God calls us to do the same thing too. Don't let any kind of religionist or spirituality tell you that need is a good thing. There's a time in our lives, sure, we have it to reflect after some bad things have happened to us, because some things will happen in your life, they'll knock you over. But don't stay there. The perpetuation of need is the enemy of progress. You have a good day, and do like and subscribe. I trust this was an inspiration to you. Thank you.